Radiant team ban. Ten seconds remaining. 5 seconds remaining. Dire team ban. Ten
Hello?
seconds remaining.
Hello, Prince. Matungkol ko niyo, Prince.
5 seconds remaining.
So, welcome back to game 2 of the grand finals. Crit Gaming versus Agility Gaming. So, earlier, that was a good game by Crit. Winning the game against Agility. Now, this is the second game of the match. This tournament is the prestigious tournament. So of course, winners would get battle points, and that would be a factor if they would be directly invited into the TI-18. I mean TI-8. Yeah, TI-8. So for the meantime, banning phase, and it seems that the Agility actually knows how they quit gaming plays, so they are now banning Viper, that's used by QMNP earlier, and Sand King by Luke. But banning Sand King doesn't really matter. I mean, Sand King earlier in the second game of the semifinals is actually like a failure. Like, all his skills is like not hitting anything. Like, he used. I mean, there were two. If my counting is right, I think there's like 2 initiations in where he used ulti and did not hit any enemies. So I think Luke is bad with Sand King. So they also banned Omni Knight. So Omni Knight, we have seen Omni Knight pretty much in first. I think that was second game. Yes, they used Omni Knight. And Agility Gaming would start off with Ogre Magi. For the meantime, Quit Gaming preparing their first pick.
10 seconds remaining.
I'm actually thinking about a Rubik. I think it won't be Rubik. It's most probably a Shaker. Alright, so they are trying to be careful in their picks, you know.
Radiant team pick.
Disruptor.
And Disruptor would be the first pick of the Radiant.
10 seconds remaining. 5
Alright, so good
remaining.
thing they can actually hear us out. So Disruptor has been a good hero. It actually helped him a lot in the third game, bringing back Juggernaut into the spot, and then they're like ganking. I mean, Disruptor is a very helpful hero in the third game earlier, so they're trying to use that again. I think the third pick could be, I would say, like a Tauren or Shaker or Tide Hunter. Oh no, it's actually Clockwork. So I think Tough will use Disruptor. Clockwork would be used by Luke, and so there's still one support missing in the 2 cores, carry and the mid. So right now,
5 seconds remaining.
Agility Gaming still waiting for thinking about how could the what would be the best counter against the pick of the Radiant.
Radiant team
so
ban.
Pretty much we don't really have that much profile about these players. We haven't seen them play at the previous tournament, so it's more on Crit Gaming, and Crit Gaming still continues to show their best spot. I mean, about how good they are in terms of
10 seconds
teamwork
remaining.
and initiation. So they've been showing that. First game, it's
5
you know,
seconds
like
remaining.
the agility gaming was actually
Dire
wrecked
team ban.
by crit. So this time we'll see more about how they learn from that previous game.
Radiant
Most
team
probably
ban.
they have discovered something and has some surprises, but we'll see more about that. So Pudge is actually an interesting pick, and we don't really see this often in the shop to
10
shop
seconds
tournament.
remaining.
So this is the first time I think for me to see
5
Pudge
seconds
being
remaining.
used in this tournament. So it depends on how will they place those wards to make sure that Punch won't get those ganks or Punch would take. Oh my god, another caroling. Ay, wala man ang tagya dito. Wala ang tag.
10 seconds remaining.
Alright, so actually ask him to.
5 seconds
The owner of
remaining.
the house is not here, so she did last. Oh my god, I'm so bad. But anyway, so yeah, Pudge, and then we are now in the second phase of the banning stage. So Terrorblade and Medusa has been banned against the agility gaming, and for the meantime, Axe is banned as well. So I think it's a use. I don't really get it. Why would you ban Axe? I mean, there's already Clockwork, right? So it's way obvious that they won't really pick Axe because they have their offlane. So the good thing that they could have done is to ban what are those heroes used by mid players or the core. Earlier they used Tinker. I think actually they lost when they used Tinker. So they could, yeah. I mean, Void, that's good. They could have banned PA as well or Razor because Seti actually used Razor twice and most probably is going to use it again. I mean, they have much confidence about that hero, so you could have banned that instead of Axe. I mean, Axe, I don't really get it. I mean, why would you ban Axe if there's
5
already
seconds
Clockwork,
remaining.
right? I mean, I don't really get the point about doing that. So this might be another support or a core from Crit, so they're still waiting. It's like they're making some tough decision makings on what hero to pick. So most probably it's about a hero that can avoid ganks from Pudge or can like, and they would actually go with Dead Prophet. So QMMP with Dead Prophet. So first time I haven't seen him play that hero before, so it's gonna be the first time I'll see that. And Juggernaut would be picked as well. So interesting, Juggernaut. Well, it's actually a good hero. I mean, against Disruptor, because most of the time Disruptor actually focuses on the carry heroes, and I mean, if Juggernaut can use Bleed Fury, that's actually good. That way, he won't be affected by Glimpse of Disruptor. So pretty much, it's a good pick, I would say. And for the fourth pick, so I think it's going to be another support for now. I would say they would actually pick support in the second pick. I think they would go somewhere that's so tanky. Maybe Tauren or I would say Night Stalker, so that they can silence Juggernaut. Or I mean, there's really a lot of options actually you can go to. And yes, they would actually go with Earthshaker. So I think it's gonna be Lewis who would be using this Earthshaker. Now it's the Agility Gaming's turn to pick. So it could be a mid hero this time.
5 seconds remaining.
So basing on the heroes, I think they picked their Shakers because they're going into more of a melee hero. So Dara actually has 3 melee heroes. So Earthshaker, I don't think Earthshaker would actually go offlane. I think it's just gonna be a fourth role in the game. So it's just gonna be a farm support, and then Clock would go offlane, and then that Prophet in the middle. So this time, it's the Agility Game's turn to pick. So thinking about what would be the best counter against the hero's top. So if we have Dead Prophet, how would they counter that? They're actually running out of time.
Team ban.
And there goes Shadow Fiend. So Shadow Fiend against Death Prophet. So well, it's kind of interesting. I think it's gonna be a Shadow Fiend that has dagger and a Yule Scepter. I think that's what I'm thinking. I think it would go into that direction. So you know, there's actually a lot of things. I mean, the good thing about Shadow Fiend is that he has a skill. I mean, a 3 level, and where he would be able to reduce the spell duration. So that's why most of the time players would actually use Octarine, Scythe of Ice, and then Dagger, and then Yule Scepter, and then Backing Bar. So I think we'd go into that kind of strategy. And at this point, I mean, with the disables that the Radiant team has, you will need someone who is good at escaping. And I think Shadow Fiend can actually escape that if he has Yule Scepter, Dagger, and those types of items. So it's an interesting matchup overall. I've seen that being played by like Miracle, and Miracle actually did some great job. Also Cuckoo actually did well using Shadow Fiend, so most probably that's where he gets the idea of using it. So it's interesting. So this hero actually looks promising, so we'll see more about that in the laning stage. But for the meantime, Dire waiting will now pick their last hero. So of course it's gonna be a support. I think they would go for so I mean, I don't know, but
Radiant team
It's a warrior.
Whoa. Okay, so okay. Alright. That's unexpected. But yeah, so it's gonna be Ursa offlane, and then Podge will rotate Ogre Magi with the full support, Juggernaut going into the safe lane, and Shadow Fiend going to mid. So right now we're still waiting for the Crit Gaming to pick their final hero. So this is gonna be the carry that they will be picking. I think it's so it's about SETI. I think they would go with it could be Razor, or it could be no, I mean PA is not really good with this type of heroes. I think it's about Razor. Oh no, it's PL. Okay, so PL for SETI. Yes. Oh, Lewis is actually good. Okay, I'm not sure if Luke would go support. I think Lewis would actually go support. Or he would go rotate. So Luke might still be offlane at this point. So interesting. And Ezra, Juggernaut, Rafat with Shadow Fiend, Virus with Ursa, Ja with Pudge, and Kim with the Ogre Magi. I'm not sure if it's the Agility Gaming who I saw before, and where they actually have like trash stalkers. Like there's a lot of trash talk going on in that game. I'm not sure if it's them, but we'll see more about that. Okay. Alright, so the game has started, and this is game 2 of best of 5 between Crit Gaming and Agility Gaming. So before we start, let's go and thank our sponsors. So Unitop for providing us with the best gaming chair and to this tournament. And of course, Ginebra, San Miguel, Samahang Walang Katulad. So players are now showing their sportsmanship by seeing GGLF, GG well played, and Putankin them all. Sure. Alright, so so Orsa going offline. So it's gonna be Crit, Luke versus Virus going on top, and Ezra is going to... It's actually rare to say Jug is going safe lane, I mean off lane. So I think so safe lane would be for Virus, Sama, and Ezra would go in the bottom. So they are now trying to rotate. So I think they would actually contest, and we'll actually see Lewis for the meantime trying to run and was able to spot the gank that was about to be initiated by Dyer. So I think they now have a clear idea of what's going on, and the question is, would they fight and get the runes? So now it's getting more intense. 5, 4, 3 seconds, and it seems that it would be taken, and rune would be taken by Ezra, but I think it would be first blood for Ja might die here. So one Spirit Lance, and there goes the first blood by Phantom Lancer. So Zed actually has a good goal at the start of the match, though they did not get the rune, but the first blood is actually huge money that can help them like lead into the game. So for that, we'll go with Ness for first. So QWMP now pressuring Shadow Fiend. So Rafat trying to be careful here not to overextend. And for the meantime, in the bottom lane, it seems that Ja would actually die again, but the Spirit Lance will not be enough. I mean, he doesn't have enough mana, so it's not going to work. But still, they're trying to contest, and Zed is getting good farm as of the moment. But the leads are, of course, Networth's leading is the Death Prophet, whatever. Alright, so we'll go first with the last hits and deny. So 2 deny. So last hit, in terms of last hit, is actually doing a good job, and it seems that they're not punch. I mean, they are actually. I mean, Lewis is being so aggressive here, trying to like extend and get some kills, but he might die. Rotation, and it seems like the Dreadnought would actually hit Lewis. Lewis might die here. Okay. Well, actually, he did survive. That was almost a kill from the Radiant, but it seems that that would actually deny himself, and Ezra tried to hit Sid, but the Sid is still trying to be relaxed and trying to be composed, making sure that he gets the last hit. Now, for the meantime, Shadowfiend Rafat is actually getting last hits in the mid lane. Varus is pretty much doing fine, and Luke is having some hard time dealing with Varus on top, especially that he actually has the Fury swipes, so it's really going to be a problem. Now QMP trying to get more farm, but Shadowfiend, that extra damage that he gets from Necromaster is just too much that he actually gets denied in last hits. So I mean, QMP, you can do that, but this might be a kill. No, this won't be. And oh my god, third skill, and that. Alright, so that's actually a healing salve that was wasted. So he does actually pop that, and then Shadowfiend hit him once, and this is gonna be a problem, really. And Rafat is actually aware that he was able to hit the Dead Prophet, so he knows that just one more right click, no, actually just not one more right click, but 2 Shadow Races would actually end up these Dead Prophet's life. But for the meantime, instead he's trying to contest with the last hits here, so he's actually getting good farm, whereas Juggernaut is just get him some XP from these scripts. But pretty much that's all he does. And in terms of vision here, so I think the Radiant actually doesn't have any vision, so they can't really see push. And for the meantime, there you go. So yes, Rafat actually get the kill, so we did not see that. on camera. Things happen so fast in this game, and so it's 1-1, and the scores are now being tied. So interesting matchup. So unlike earlier, in where the agility game started so lousy, but this time they show off. I mean, they know that they have to bounce back. They have the skill, and QMMP now being more confident. He knows that these Shadowfiend doesn't have that much HP, but Bird would actually send them Salves and a bottle, so that's a good thing. And oh my god, we missed it again. And Pudge would actually die. Now for the meantime, Eastward is actually being chased by Sed. Sed trying to chase, but he was actually blocked by Kim. Kim might get caught here by the Clockwork now, getting them stuns, and there goes the Cogs, and he won't be able to get out. And this might be a dead Ogre Magi in the process, and yes, he will actually die. Just one more sprint last, but no, he doesn't have that. One more hit, and there goes killing spree fly Sed. So Sed actually has 3 kills. She killed Pudge, she killed Ogre Magi, though Ezra was able to survive. But so pretty much bottom lane is actually doing good. Sed getting some good farms in here and getting some good supports too. So I mean, Pudge, we hasn't really seen him well in this game. We're actually expecting too much, like more about rotation. He's gonna rotate mid, gonna rotate top, and can get those skills, but no, he's actually just staying in one lane, so that's pretty interesting. Now, Rafat, for the meantime, actually, I think he actually got in the room because the life is now full. And QMMP trying to get past it. I mean, it's hard to last it with this hero. Oh my god, we missed it again. What the fuck? Oh god, I'm so sorry. So, this just a lot of things. And it seems like bottom lane again, it's gonna be a kill. And Kim trying to initiate would actually try to chase, but he will be glimpsed, and there goes another kill from Sed. Now for the meantime, Sed no, he would actually not try to contest that, but pretty much Sed is doing good at the bottom lane, and that kill right there from Luke is actually so interesting. I hope you can see that. How did it happen? I mean, it's really interesting. Level 6 Ursa versus level 4. Oh my god, and there goes another kill. Oh shit, like everything happens so fast. You can't even see things right. And Lewis is now trying to hide into the trees. I think Rafat is actually not aware that he was in there, so they're just waiting for Rafat to overextend. Then Lewis does have a level 2 battery assault with level 1 cog. I think this is the best opportunity. Lewis now with the rotation, but no, that's way too far. QMP might die as well in here, but there goes the cogs, and Rafat would actually be thrown out. He's just waiting for space to use his third skill, but I mean his Shadow Race is that it's called. Yeah, Shadow Race, but it was way too far. So, and one more right click, and he still survived. Now, hook from Ja. Ja would be able to get the kill, and there goes Zeros. We are so angry right now with the haste. We actually get the kill to Toph, and still wanting for more, and it seems that he will be juked by QMMP, so that's not going to be successful. So good thing they have rotated and would actually be able to kill, but it's just a support though. I mean, it's not really like a big deal in terms of kills. So they would actually go to the shrine, so talk to each other and say, hey, hi, Swan, what happened? I don't know, bottom lane's just
middle tower is under attack.
So Sed is farming big time in this lane. So in terms of creep stats, Shadowfiend is still leading at this point. So we're seeing a lot of money coming from him. And in terms of deaths, so Zed has 4 kills, Shadowfiend has 1, Juggernaut has 1, Earthshaker has 1 kill, and yeah, pretty much kills is going into the Reagan, I would say. So 6 against 5, but they have to be more careful. I mean, these Orsa is actually getting farmed, but you can actually see that the Earthshaker is actually trying to fight. And there goes your rotations. Lewis again with another rotation. I don't think he was spotted here, so Luke might be trying to be more aggressive, and there goes your battery assault, but it won't really hit the okay, Luke might actually die in here, so that's a huge mistake. Lewis actually meeting that cog. I think it's going to be a double kill at this point. He might die, and yes, he will. So double kill from Beerus. So unfortunate. That was supposed to be a good gank, and now for the meantime, QMMP being ganked here by Ja and Rafat, but they would actually try to run. Ja still chasing, he might end up dying in here, but no, he would actually survive and would TP, yeah, TP back to the base. So earlier, I mean, that's really so unfortunate. I mean, Earthshaker has actually a good vision, a good, you know, like skills and all to kill the Orsa, but turns out that the battery, I mean, cog right there is really the problem. Okay, alright, you missed it again. And there goes Ezra killing Tough. So Tough would die. We really have to focus on this mini. There's just a lot of things that's happening. So kills are now in favor of agility gaming, so
Dire's top
earlier,
tower
that's
is under
really
attack.
wonderful. Like, how did they lose so bad earlier? Now they're bouncing back, so seems like everything is going on their way. Now, for the meantime, Sed now has the Blade of Alacrity, so he's going to get the Diffusal in this early stage. And for the meantime, as you can see, the Dire is actually now trying to be more aggressive in the bottom lane. Like earlier, it's more about Sed getting those farms, and there goes another kill from Rafat. Yeah, things really happen so fast, and you can't even see what's going on because we're so focused in one lane, and then something happens in the other lane. So it's wonderful, but that's the good thing of it. You know, I mean, this is just the start, so we'll see more probably. And there goes Kim, battery assault from the Clockwork with the cog, and I think Clockwork would actually die here. And yes, he will, and Kim would actually survive. So turn of events, I mean, there's a lot of things like that that's been going on, but it seems like, and there goes the rotation, there goes the Death Prophet will be able to kill these two, and Juggernaut would end up dying as well, so Unstoppable and double kill from Zed, while QMMP, that's a good rotation right there. They are actually able to kill 3 and decide to die. So I think they would also destroy these tower. I don't think that the Dire would actually try to contest, but they are actually pretty much focusing on the mid lane. So they might this might be a trade between bottom and mid lane. For the meantime, Orsa does have the dagger. Heroes might jump here and look at that, and he would actually go with QMP. Now the stun actually blocked QMMP, what a mistake in there. So they're actually pinging. Look right there, I mean, that's really a huge mistake, and it seems like that Zed would also end up dying in this initiation, also would end up dying this Luke. And that's a huge mistake with it. I mean, that actually hit, I mean, that feature just blocked the Death Prophet's blade. And then another kill. Good job by Luke, but still, I mean, that's just a clutch. And you're up against Juggernaut, and you just cannot glimpse it back if the almost flush is thrown. Alright, so interesting matchup. I mean, all the ganks going into there. The problem right there, I think, is yes, they were pushing, but there's really no wards on here, right? So there's no wards in here. They didn't see anything. I mean, they didn't see them coming. So. And Pudge just there, I mean, also just directly hit QMMP, and I mean, that feature is really a big factor. I mean, there's a huge chance that Death Prophet could actually escape that, especially that I mean, his movement speed is actually 350. So it's just that it was blocked, and that's why after that he was started to ping the loot saying, okay, what the fuck is going on? Why did you do that? But no, it already happened, and there's nothing that we can do about it. But this time, I think it's going to be on a different side of the card. So it's going to be Dire is actually be pushing, and there's a vision right there. So they know Luke is actually there. Ezra would try to rotate, and oh my god, mistakes after mistakes. The cog actually catches Tough. Tough might die in here, but no, he would actually survive. But there goes, he would pop the magic stick and would still survive. One more feature is still being awaited. They're still waiting for that feature from Earthshaker, and that's actually just level 1. And for the meantime, top lane Zed did kill the okay, so Zed actually killed Orsa, and he now has to. So that's a good thing. So Zed from the kills earlier, he actually getting good farm, so that's good. Now, for the meantime, Earthshaker, and they are still up against these rivalries in the bottom lane. Now, Ezra would actually kill Crit Lewis, and in exchange, they would also get the Pudge from Ja. Now, in the meantime, top lane being so careful here. Rapid actually trying to go top lane as well. So I think they are up into they're going to be destroying this tower. So it's going to be spotting some Spirit Lands, so it's important that we don't have any mana and for them to avoid any initiation. Now, for the meantime, Luke is hiding in the trees, and I think Vera's actually spotted him. Yes, he will be spotted. He might end up dying, but the silence actually comes out. No, Hook. Okay, Pudge, that's a huge mistake from Pudge. Okay, it seems like that it's gonna be 2 kills, but so Ursa's life is actually being drained out. So that's a good initiation right there. And mistakes was made by Dire. They actually hooked Ursa. Ursa was, as Ursa was about to jump and get the kill, they actually hooked him, and that just ended his life. But I don't think we can actually contest. UMMP might die in the process. Why are they overextending? They can focus on killing the stars, but they actually go in the second tier, and that's where they get killed. That's the problem. I mean, I think that's the weakness, I would say, that I've seen into this team, because they are focused on, I mean, sometimes they become so excited that they actually focus on the heroes instead of focusing on the objectives, and then they ended up dying. So, I mean, next time they should be more careful on that one, not to be, too excited to get kills. Instead, they could have destroyed the East Tower. I mean, East Tower only has 198 HP. Now, for the meantime, Dagger is almost online here from Luke, so we will be able to see. Okay, there you go. So Dagger is now online, so he's just hiding into the tree. So they're still waiting, right? So they're still waiting for them to come out. So trying to be more patient. Ezra, once the turn is done, there goes. I think that's it. 3 men. No. Okay, I actually think that they spotted Luke here. Yes, they will. So Luke actually spotted them and would go with the star. Now Jad trying to be careful, but he will be trapped by the glimpse and will end up dying. So Sid would actually get under the kill. And for the meantime, okay, here's actually contagious. What the fuck is so fast? Okay, well, yeah, he did get the Aegis. Alright, that's good. So, no towers yet that has been brought down by by Crit Gaming. So for now, they're still waiting, or they're still hoping to get towers, and I think they will have that opportunity in the bottom lane. But there goes the TP from the Pudge. I think he would actually defend, and they are now denying his tower, but no, Sed would actually get the knight, and there goes your disposal blade. Kim will die and will be trapped in the glimpse. Yes, he will, so that's gonna be another dead Olga Magi in the process. Now, for the meantime, Ursa trying to play, but no, he won't be able to do that. Now, Ezra actually farming top and would be able to get, or he now has a battle here. I think he's also going for Diffusal Scepter. Is that Diffusal Scepter? I think it's only Diffusal. And there goes Rafa with the kill. So he now has Shadow Blade, so that's one thing. We don't have Vision in there. Yes, we have the wards, but no Sentry, so you can definitely just go right in and just release his fast skill. So it's the different set of items that you're actually using. At first I thought it's going to be like Dagger and then the Eula Scepter, but it turns out it's actually going into a more right-click kind of mid-laner. It's just going into more, he wants more right-clicks than just skill, so he's also going into the same Yasha, so as much as possible he wants to get more damage and more speed. Now for the meantime, instead, so Crit Gaming actually was able to take down the tower bottom lane. That's the first tower, but they are now up into the second tower here. So we haven't really seen much about QMMP, about what's the status. So I think it's just gonna go with it's actually going with he's just gonna go with the Ghost Scepter just to make sure that he can release his ulti without being killed in the process, especially that these are more on like the heroes. I mean, no really skills or can cause the kill, so it's not really that impactful. Now, for the the meantime, the Fusel Blade is almost done, and Zed will end up dying in here. He will be able to, I think, defuse, but the hook and the follow-ups, but he will go with the second kill, and yes, he will survive and would end up getting kills, but Zed will be catched by Rafat. Now, for the meantime, QMMP, and the Rafat will be trapped with the glimpse, and there goes the last kill from QMMP, and another kill from Crit Gaming. Now, for the meantime, Crit is, well, actually, the Lewis already released his last one, so no vision for the moment, but there goes the COG, and it seems that it's gonna kill Ursa as well. Now, for the meantime, Ezra would try to run, but no, he will end up dying as well. Now, QMMP trying to be careful for the chase by Bears with the dagger, and that's gonna be the overkill from Bears. And we'll be tromping inside Glimpse, but there's still dagger that's going to be online in around 2 seconds, so he would actually get the jump. And nice juke right there, so you wouldn't see anyone in that thing. Oh my god, I think that's going to be a disruptor, so it's too late. Like, after he used that Glimpse, I think it's already too late. I mean, he could have used Glimpse, actually. I think Glimpse is online. Yes, it is. So he did not use that, so that's a problem. Alright, so big team fights is actually in favor most of the time of the Dire, so this is really dangerous. So Burger Magi is going for the mecha, and Varus would actually go with Black King Bar, Pudge going with Force Staff. I think, yes, Diffusal Blade is actually done for Jug, so he's now going to get BKB as well, and Shadow Fiend is going for Sage and Yasha. Now, let's look at the items that the Crit Gaming has. Earthshaker with the dagger is also, I think, is also going for Shadow Blade for in this game. Now QMMP with the Ghost Scepter and 2 Bracer. I think yes, he is actually going for the Rod of Atos. Now for the meantime, he would actually spot the Rafat, but oh my, it's actually a good set. I mean, okay, so Rafat would actually end up dying. He would end up into the middle of the static storm, so he will end up dying in that game. Now for the meantime, Zed here, getting some good items. You now have Battle for the Witzer Travel, so anytime you can actually TP and create pressure. But well, tower is still being, they're still continuing to bring down towers. So I think Zed is actually going for Manta style in this game. So it's gonna be Manta, Diffusal, and probably would go next with what Ayascati or with the part of Tarrasque. So we'll see more about that. So going back in the net worth of the game, so it's what we can see. It's actually Shadow Fiend and Ezra is leading, followed by Zed. So the only problem here is that in terms of clash, right? I mean, the Radiant, I mean the Dire team is not really focused on clashes. Most of the time they do clash, but there's one core that's actually farming. So it could be Shadow Fiend or it could be Juggernaut, and they'll just go as a backup and clash. So that's why they have a lot of net worth at this point. Now for the meantime, Zed is actually always so active in terms of initiation, so that's why he was not really able to get that farm fast. So the rotation that they have actually worked so fine, but right now in this, as we're approaching mid game, it seems like they're slowing down. So now looking at the assist, so Juggernaut has 6, Juggernaut has 6, Shadow Fiend has 3, and Phantom Lancer actually has 5. So it seems like Juggernaut is actually being so proactive in Clash, but he's still getting good farm, so that's a good thing. Okay, so Zed actually just got the Yasha, and they are now ganking, and Pudge would be spotted, but they will see who's the original Phantom Lancer and would end up dying. Much confidence there from Pudge. I mean, you're actually able to dismember the original Phantom Lancer, so that's a good thing. I mean, luck is no excuse. And it seems like they are full force now, going to the top lane. While well, the baddest is actually not online yet. Still, it's not really that enough. Especially that I think they now have BKB. No, they haven't. So actually, Orsa does have BKB. Yeah, this is from the bears. Ezra now has the diffuser blade going for the BKB. Alright. Sure, something else. Alright, so I'm not sure, guys, if you can actually hear the background noise. There's actually people checking at the back, so I don't know if you can hear that. It's about, like, neighbors doing some chit-chat, so you might hear that in the background. So sorry. So, okay. Alright, so, items after items. So, Fudge now has 4 staff. And, Juggernaut, still building a beat. I think BKB is actually not online. Yes, it is online. So, and Shadow. Okay, Earthshaker actually has the Shadow Blade. So I think they spotted 3 heroes at that point. And there goes Earthshaker. Oh my god, there's a bit. Okay, that Shadow King is way too fast. And now Orsa would actually try to attack each player in the Crit Gaming team, but he'll just get one, and that's gonna be tough. So I mean, that's already a good play. Especially Tough haven't really released his last skill, so they are fully aware that they can definitely go and clash without getting damage or anything about that last skill. And the Disruptor, I don't know what last skill. I think it's called yeah, Static Storm. So all second tier towers are now being destroyed. So it's gonna be easier for them now to push now. Crit Gaming still waiting for a good position, but there goes your hook. QMP will be hit, and QMP would actually pop that last kill, but I think that wouldn't be enough, and he would actually die. And for the meantime, there goes his Static Storm right there from Disruptor, but still it's not enough. Now for the meantime, Luke is still hiding somewhere, but and the Omni Stash would actually pop the Omni Stash for Clockwork, and Clockwork would actually die, and so that's gonna be 2 heroes down for the for the Crit Gaming team, and I think it's gonna be easier now for the Agility Gaming to push. Now for the meantime, that's what we can see in Earthshaker, where the try to go mid. It's not really gonna commit. So mid racks down here from Team Crit Gaming. So alright, so mid racks is down, and seriously, like at first, like in the picking phase of the match, I haven't really seen. I'm not really like. I don't think they can win this game. Like the way their lineup works. I mean, I thought it was gonna be impossible. But turns out, I mean, this hero actually works well for them. So it's now 22-29. They still have their second tier towers available. So you know, Radiant team really needs to work hard in getting these towers in order for them to push. I mean, even if they have, it should have been ideal if they have the. I mean, they almost have the early advantage. It's just that they have these mistakes that changes the game. Just like what happened in the bottom lane. Like they almost destroy the tower, they overextend, they get killed, and that actually just changes everything. Alright, so neighbors are actually noisy, so we can hear them. You guys can hear them as well, probably. Alright. Oh my god, they're still talking. What the fuck? Alright, so yeah, so going back, so Beerus is now getting would actually go with the Abyssal Blade. We now have the Skull Basher, and still getting some more good items into this game. But for the meantime, Ezra now has the I think he's also going for Abyssal Blade. So pretty interesting. And through the meantime, Sid trying his best to get some farm top lane, but as what we can see, there's a 20k net worth lead in favor of the agility gaming. So I don't think this will drop down anytime soon. I think that's really impossible. So hopefully we can still win this game. But that's another kill for Zed, and look at that, Zed just being ganked so easily now. Earthshaker would try to hide, but he wouldn't be able to escape though. But they force down, and let's see if the buyback, if Zed does have one. So buyback status, okay, we can actually end this game already. I mean, Zed has no buyback. He needs 700 more gold to get the buyback done, and now the shrine is being destroyed, and they might go Roshan against the Orsha devotion. I think it's not gonna be Orsha would be taking it. No, okay, I think it's 17. Yeah. Okay, so it's still gonna be Girls. Girls would actually get the points. So Girls is, what's important that he has the just because he is actually the one who initiates most of the time, so he's the one who makes those jumps and just, you know, like try to see if they can get killed or not. But it's been doing great. Every time he jumped, he always get a kill. Could be support or something. So I think it's gonna be the same thing. He will be more aggressive now. No wards are being planted, so they don't really have any vision. And Lurk would just try to block the quick. So right now what they're doing is try to scatter and try to make the quick game confused about whether they would go mid lane, bottom lane, or top lane. I think that's so try to make some rotation, and there goes the ward being planted, and there goes your Earthshaker, Echo's damage in the face, and now Juggernaut would actually pop the BKB, would be able to release the Ondoy slash, and it would actually hit to everyone. Now Shadow Fiend with the King of Souls, and they will be able to get a kill here from Q2 and Pino. For the meantime, Lord is starting to run, but no, that wouldn't be enough, and all 5 players would actually down, and that's GG. And there goes your this is the second game, so it's 1 against 1. What a game indeed. I mean, it started so well. I mean, pretty much everything is actually balanced at first. Mid game, slight advantage from Crit Gaming, but then, you know, after that they're becoming so eager getting those hero kills. I mean, they just